Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Dynamite post show review. Dynamite is live from Smart Financial Center in Sugarland, Texas. Four segments are advertised for tonight. Ospreay, Swerve meeting face to face as they prepare to meet in the finals of 2026 Men's Owen Hart Cup tournament. Also for women's side, we have semi-final match Mercedes versus Hazuki as well. Briscoe and MJF will pick their teams for the 6-on-6 steel cage match scheduled for Forbidden Door. So loaded card for Dynamite announced. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off Dynamite backstage with MJF and almost the entire Don Callis family, as MJF said he doesn't like but respects Kevin Knight. He's not afraid to stab people in the back to get ahead as well. While looking at Fletcher, he said to Knight that he's clearly the most talented prospect in wrestling. MJF switches to Swerve Strickland saying, if he wants power, win the Oven and come take the title. If not, go swerve off a bridge. And MJF then praises Ospreay to make it to Wembley so he can break his neck, briefly mentioning Hangman as well. MJF then told Kenny Omega to hope of his kosher pickle he will never get redemption, and asked Callis how many times he's beaten Omega. Omega is nothing but a mortal who will never get redemption. So MJF mentioning redemption word multiple times in this promo suggests we might get the match between MJF and Kenny Omega at Redemption pay-per-view next month in July. So some breadcrumbs hint for that as well in this promo. MJF said everyone he mentioned was a star, unlike Mark Briscoe, as the fan loves him because they feel sorry for him. MJF says Mark Briscoe is delusional for thinking he has a shot at winning the Triple B. Then Callis names Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, Jake Doyle, Kazuchika Okada, and finally Andrade for the team of MJF for the steel cage match at Forbidden Door. MJF walks back in and Andrade is insulted, asking how you know that he will join Max. MJF told Callis to take care of this, and Callis tells Andrade there is a line, you have to be patient, you will get your title shot as well. So we are still teasing the Andrade split from Don Callis family as well. I think so that's a very good promo segment to start off Dynamite. So we started off first action of the night, Kenny Omega in action against Tony Nese. Omega's road to redemption continues, and I would be genuinely shocked if Omega isn't getting a title shot at redemption pay-per-view in July. So a quick match for Omega. Nese missed a springboard moonsault, allowing Omega to deliver multiple strap dragons. V-trigger clobbered Nese and then hit the one-winged angel for the quick victory for Kenny Omega. Post-match, Omega was about to talk when we get the music of TMDK. Zack Sabre Jr., Badu, T2 and Mikey Nichols comes out, outnumbered Omega, and then we saw Young Bucks and Jungle Jack Perry on the ramp as well. Sabre kicked the mic back to Omega and he introduces TMDK but doesn't know what it stands for, neither do they. Omega thanks Sabre for coming to the AEW to challenge him, as they both have something the other want. Omega hits his go home lines since TMDK doesn't have one. Goodbye, good night. This was kind of the interaction we needed to build up this match between Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. for Forbidden Door pay-per-view. I think so it's going to be a banger of a match on Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Next up is Death Riders versus Brodido tag team match. This was one hell of a tag team match, and this got a lot of time as well. Brodido tag teaming after a very, very long time, losing the title, and then they goes to singles action and now back to tag team division. So really liked their tag team as well. We saw Garcia won the early mat return with Bandido opted to showboat, allowing Bandido to scramble and return the favor. Quick takedowns and pin attempts. Bandido tagged in Brody King, double chops from Brodido flattened Garcia, who tagged in Moxley. Moxley and King waste no time, slugging it out. Battle King was winning until Moxley went to the ice, tried to running crossbody but bounced off Kings like a ball. Moxley was able to gain control with corner punches. Bandido was able to make the tag to King, who fired off more strikes on Moxley. Moxley connected with the superplex for a very close near fall as well. Moxley and Garcia did their locomotion corner splash. Bandido teased a 21 plex on Moxley, who was ready with a hard forearm before tagging Garcia. Bandido cleared the top row with a huge dive onto all three Death Rider outside, Shafir included. Before going back into the ring with a frog splash on Garcia, King made the save as Moxley was there to curb stop Bandido. Garcia and Bandido traded strikes until Bandido hit a pop-up knee and a 21 plex at the same time. King took out Moxley with a dive and Brodido wins the match with Bandido pinning Garcia. So again a very good match, very good showing for Brodido. Brodido Carter backstage saying they haven't forgotten about international title even though they are teaming with MJF for Forbidden Door. They both know someone who won't be teaming on Briscoe's team and pointing out at Tomohiro Ishii beaten up. They wish Briscoe good luck finding another partner as they took out Tomohiro Ishii as well. Ciampa is backstage saying he doesn't need 1004 reasons why he hates Jericho. He can give him one. He used to respect the Lionheart, the guy who took over New Japan, first ever world champion in AEW. That guy needs to stay the hell out of Ciampa's world, but if Jericho has it in him to think he's worthy, let's dance, ball is in Jericho's court, don't drop it. So again, very good promo for Ciampa, building up a match between Ciampa and Jericho. The dogs were about to bully a production staff member like they usually do before their entrance when it was revealed to be Adam Copeland and Christian Cage, who fought the dogs to the ring. They were about to lay out Clark Connors with a double spear when David Finlay pulled him to safety and the dogs bailed through the crowd. So Cage said after what happened a few weeks ago, they won the tag titles. People expect them to say something. Even Christian Cage has standards. Cage still said he's never seen a tag team named after their mothers and fathers taunting the dogs. Copeland said the dogs are them from 30 years ago, so they understand wanting to make a name of their reputation. They thought they knew it all and they challenged the dogs for the tag titles at Forbidden Door as well. So make sure you show up. You will walk out through the Forbidden Door housebroken, little punks. So again, setting up a match between the dogs and Cope and Cage for the tag titles at Forbidden Door. I think so. It's gonna be a fantastic match on the pay-per-view. Footage of Starlight Kid from Japan was shown cutting up promo on Tekla, who she will face at Forbidden Door. Kid isn't going to let Tekla run wild as she will return to Japan with the women's title. We are told that Kid has beaten Tekla in the past as well. Tony Khan said Kid was his favorite wrestler outside of AEW, which Tekla doesn't care about. Spitting on Stardom logo is just the start we wanted for this feud, and the match will happen at Forbidden Door. It's gonna be a fantastic match. Lexington is backstage with Brodido. Bandido is psychic. They are back together, beat the Riders. Bandido saw some gold in his mind, the Continental title, and was about to issue a challenge to Moxley. Then suddenly Moxley walks in with Garcia and Sheffield. Moxley keeps saying tranquilo and asks if Bandido wants a shot at the title. And we get a match between the two. It's gonna be Bandido Moxley for the Continental title at Forbidden Door. I think so. It's gonna be a fantastic match. Next up is the semi-final match: Mercedes versus Hazuki, Women's Owen Hart Cup semi-final. I initially thought this started pretty slow, but my goodness, this picked up after the first commercial break and kept its foot on the gas for the rest of the match. I had suddenly could see the argument that this was the women's TV match of the year, as despite not being that well known in AEW, Hazuki got the crowd behind her and had them biting at false finishes. And if there's one thing Monet loves more than winning titles, it's using that Meteora. And I hope her knees are good to go for the finals. I think so. It's gonna be a fantastic final at Forbidden Door. Whoever wins the next semifinal, Mercedes is pretty much favorite to win the Owen back to back this year as well. Monet continued to glaze at the trophy before Hazuki hit face washes back inside. Hazuki missed a running stunt on, giving Monet a chance to hit her first Meteora and ground and the pond to take the control. Baseball slide sent Hazuki to the floor. Monet slammed her repeatedly into the apron. She continued to stay in control with another low Meteora for a very close 2 count. Monet wrenched Hazuki down to the mat violently by the bad arm and applied the statement maker. Hazuki rolled into the pin attempt for a 2. Hazuki slid through a moneymaker into a 2 count, rolled through another moneymaker into a La Magistral for another near fall. They exchanged strikes until Hazuki tried a Cazadora. Monet countered into a backstabber at a statement maker again. This time, Hazuki fought valiantly but had to tap out, and this was one hell of a victory for Mercedes and moving into the finals at Forbidden Door as well. We got the video package of Athena and Maya World semi-final match this weekend on Collision, and the winner will face Mercedes at Forbidden Door in the finals of Women Owen Hart Cup as well. So again, pretty much looking forward to that match as well. Next up is the face-off between Ospreay and Swerve. Tony introduces Ospreay to the ring first, congratulating him for getting married this weekend. Ospreay thanks fans for the messages, and he's supposed to be on the honeymoon, but his wife said they can go to Hawaii whenever they want. Go chase your dream. So this led to Shivani introducing Swerve to the ring as well. Nana told Shivani his suit is way too tight and get out of the ring. Strickland said it's almost been a year since he's last talked to Ospreay, no texts, no calls, and said he doesn't like what he's seen, he's changed. Ospreay said nothing changed about him except his hair, while something about Strickland changed the way he's looking at him. Do we need to have a chat about something? Strickland said they do as some everything they fought for last year against the Death Riders, only for now to be playing booty boot camp with Moxley. Ospreay said he hasn't forgotten or forgive the Death Riders for what they did to him, but realized he had to let it go for now. It's working. His neck feels great. Ground game improving. But speaking of the night they snapped his neck, Ospreay saw Omega Ops Darby and did see Swerve helping him in the cage as well. So Ospreay can't be mad. He knows Strickland tore his knee, so he got to thinking about All In Texas where they had each other's back against the Bucks. And when Ospreay said he and Hagman needed help getting the world title back, Strickland said nothing about that. Ospreay demands to know why Strickland wasn't out there with him. Strickland goes to talk, but Ospreay swatted the mic from his hands. Ospreay knows that Forbidden Door is Strickland's redemption, but it's Ospreay's dream to headline Wembley Stadium. Wembley Stadium and Ospreay is one win away from his dream, so Strickland is a man standing in the way of his dream. Strickland said that not if I do it first, as last year he heard Ospreay say it wasn't either of their time, it was Hagman's time, and he agreed, sitting back to fight with Ospreay against the Death Riders. Strickland asked, where's Paige now? Ospreay doesn't know, neither does Strickland, who doesn't care, because everything Ospreay said was for nothing. You accept Strickland to step aside so Ospreay can have his way to the World Championship. Fuck that. Strickland is sick of other getting opportunity he deserves, as when he was world champion he had to let legends step on him, sitting at home for 6 weeks because fragile egos talking. Every time they step in the ring they change what pro wrestling is going to be. They raise the bar. One thing is certain, Swerve Strickland victorious over Will Ospreay, as he's been able to defeat Strickland in unable to defeat Strickland in last 10 years. When Strickland moves over Ospreay and wins the world title at Wembley, maybe Ospreay can challenge for it and Strickland can beat him again and again and again. So Ospreay punched Strickland as Nana handed him a chain until Death Rider's music hit and came out Moxley, Garcia, Shafir and Pac to surround the ring. Strickland said Ospreay's right, he really has changed before walking up the ramp with Nana. Ospreay left with the Death Riders through the crowd. Garcia seemed pissed that Ospreay didn't throw more hands at Strickland. I think so. It's a very good face-off, and the match and the finals between Ospreay and Swerve, it's gonna be a banger of a match. So, ahead of the main event, Excalibur said Tony Khan made it official. If either team is disqualified, they will lose a man on their team at Forbidden Door. Mark Briscoe is backstage with Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Briscoe said Ishii will be back and they will avenge. As O'Reilly said, if anyone gets disqualified tonight, they are out of Forbidden Door, which bumps Briscoe out. Briscoe brings in Konosuke Takeshita, who said, Fletcher, I want you. Okada, I hate you. Final member of the team Briscoe is Darby Allin, who said he heard that shit about the glass ceiling his whole life and they're going to beat their asses tonight and at Forbidden Door as well. So we get the main event, 12-man tag Team MJF versus Team Briscoe. This was a big party match to end the show and give us a taste of how chaotic Forbidden Door Steel Cage match is gonna be. You may have to say the stories between MJF and Briscoe, Takeshita and Protocada, Allen and Knight, and Brody and MJF and Kevin Knight as well. All these stories will be in the Steel Cage match and I'm pretty much looking forward to that match as well. O'Reilly in for a Nigel Lariat, which Doyle no sold, but the knee lift crumbled him. Takeshita fought off Protocada initially, but Fletcher hit him with the half and Halua kick. Takeshita dodged a charge from Blue Thunder Bomb and hitting Fletcher with the Blue Thunder Bomb. Briscoe and MJF tag in, but Knight put a stop to any strikes thrown, eating a right hand of his own. Briscoe cleaned house until teasing Jay Driller on MJF, but Knight flew in with a springboard lariat. Doyle violently threw Allen from the stage to the ring post. MJF was about to hit the heat seeker on Mark Briscoe, who counted and spiked MJF with the Jay Driller. Only Callis took the referee out for the visible 3 count. Briscoe up top, Froggy Bow, but Fletcher intervened. Strong made the tag, but was imminently slammed out by MJF into the salt of the earth, and he tapped out. So Team MJF getting the win to close out Dynamite. Post-match, the heel continued their attack in the ring. Callis said he's going to join the party. MJF pulled out the Dynamite Diamond Ring and ordered Andrade to pick Briscoe up as the two shoved each other. Callis told Andrade to do it because of the money. Andrade obliged and MJF decked Briscoe as all the baby faces were laid out with the heels standing tall to close out Dynamite. So very good ending of Dynamite. The build up for Steel Cage match is going fantastic. I think so it's gonna be a fantastic match. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys, like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.